The next big event in God's plan for the church is not the rapture, at least not as it's commonly understood. Something wonderful is about to happen in the worldwide body of Christ. In fact, it will be the most glorious event in almost 2,000 years, but it's not the rapture event that most Christians are expecting. The most important spiritual event since 33 AD is imminent. This world-changing event will signal three things. First, the successful fruition of God's plan for this age, which extends from Noah's flood to Christ's second coming. Second, the culmination of Christ's work on the cross. And third, the approaching end of mankind's suffering. So what's about to happen? There are two main things. First, the glory of God will be unveiled in mature sons of God, and this includes female disciples. The glory of God will visibly radiate from them. When the nations see this, millions of rich and poor from all nations, including kings, will seek to learn the way of the Lord. This is like the transfiguration of Jesus and Moses' face that radiated the glory of God. But both Jesus and Moses remained immortal, and their bodies later died and were buried. This is not the rapture that people are expecting, during which we'll receive our spiritual, immortal, and incorruptible bodies. Secondly, the unveiling of God's glory in His mature sons will catalyze end-time events in the spiritual realm, including the greatest revival in history, producing a harvest of new believers that's so large the Bible calls it innumerable, and Satan will be cast down from heaven to earth, which will kick off the Great Tribulation for 3.5 years. More than 2,500 years ago, Isaiah wrote these promises. The glory of Yahweh will be revealed, and all flesh shall see the salvation of God. Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of Yahweh has risen upon you. For behold, darkness will cover the earth, and deep darkness the peoples. But the Lord will rise upon you, and His glory will appear upon you. Nations will come to your light, and kings to the brightness of your radiance. Nations shall see your righteousness, and all kings your glory. The Apostle Paul taught us the glory of God is now hidden within our earthly bodies. But in fulfillment of Isaiah's prophecies, God is going to unveil this hidden glory that now resides in each of His sons and daughters, so that His glory will visibly shine out from them. Unbelievers who dwell in deep moral darkness will be amazed. Millions of people from every tribe, people, language, and nation will come to their light to learn how to know God. We know this because just after the 144,000 sons of God are sealed in Revelation chapter 7, the innumerable multitude will wash their robes in the blood of the Lamb. I'll discuss these two groups in more detail in another video. What will God's glory look like? When God's glory is unveiled in the sons of God, I believe it will be a supernatural light emanating from the spirit of each member of the 144,000. It won't be reflected light like the moon, but the light will originate from within their bodies like the sun. Its intensity will depend on how much a person has allowed the Spirit to transform them by the renewing of their mind into the likeness of Christ. One will have the faint light of a candle, while another's light will be very bright. Daniel wrote, "Those who understand shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and those that teach righteousness to the multitude as the stars in perpetual eternity." Paul wrote, "Star differs from star in splendor, so it will be with the resurrection of the dead." Finally, since it's a spiritual light, I believe it'll communicate more than simple brightness. In its presence, I expect we'll also sense the indescribably beautiful peace, music, and aroma of heaven, where the flowers bloom forever and the sun is always bright. As we see the end of the age approaching, it's easy to fall under dread and negativity, thinking about the darkness, trials, and destruction coming to every nation that's in rebellion against God. But I see a very positive future for disciples of Jesus who follow him with their whole heart. Their future will be glorious, full of light and life. They'll be blessed and fruitful, like a tree planted by a river of living water. You can get the Arise Shine book on standinfaith.org. I'll put a link to this page in the description. To get the Arise Shine book, scroll down to the section titled 2 Ways to Read This Book. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know by giving it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more of my videos, don't forget to subscribe and click on the notification bell.